Hello everyone, my name is XFreds, and today we are finally going to be looking back into the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, which has been quite a bit, and today we have Sonic X Shadow Generations. I am very late on this. But, to be quite frank, I don't really care that much. Because in one way or another, late or not, I'm gonna deliver. As you can see, the Sonic X Shadow Generation Steam page is fully up. The release date has been official. It is October 25th, 2024. Developer and publisher Sonic Team and Sega. Anyways, everyone, now we don't actually have just the new Summer Games Fest trailer to look at. We're actually going to be looking at more. We're actually going to be looking at some gameplay footage from that we've gotten from some people that played the demos, and basically we're going to talk about how Sonic X Shadow Generations is going to impact the future of modern Sonic. Now, I know this sounds a little bit ambitious for what I'm normally used to, but I wanted to kind of try something a little bit different because I thought it would be very fun. With that being said, let's get into this. So as you can see here, the Sonic Generations portion of this remaster looks pretty identical with a few lighting changes, but overall it looks pretty identical, just with a few polished changes, which I do not have a problem with at all. Sure, you could just nitpick all you want, say that it looks like an Xbox 360 title compared to the Shadow Generations portion, but like, would you rather like what you have gotten with Colors Ultimate? I didn't think so. Anyways, let's continue. Now there was a couple of things that apparently the time meter is being shown with a different set of graphics here. So and given from what Azuka said during the interview when talking about Sonic X Shadow Generations, this portion of Sonic Generations is going to be taking place during the base game. So Shadow Generations is taking place during Sonic Generations. The animations look very smooth, including the teleportation homing attack as always, and if you look closely at what the environment is, it is Rail Canyon from Sonic Heroes. Now let's go back a little bit. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Rail Canyon from Sonic Heroes. I think it is actually one of the weakest levels in the game, aside from Bullet Station, and it kind of shows, but it wasn't really due with the level design. Sure, the level design was a bit obsessive with the rails, but I feel like it could have easily worked if the rail grinding on its own was handled right. And considering that the boost gameplay, and considering that modern Sonic has improved the rail grinding since Sonic Heroes, it has been a lot easier. It will probably be a lot easier compared to Sonic Heroes version of this stage, which to me that'll be a win, because Sonic Heroes, I'll probably make a video about it during sometime in the summer, maybe not, I'm not sure, but that game, in my opinion, is the most conflicting Sonic game, and I think I might have said that around maybe my Sonic tier list video. I could be wrong. I probably said something else, how it's a mixed bag, or how it's good qualities makes it go at B tier but nothing above. I don't hate Sonic Heroes. maybe partially, but I don't fully hate the game. I just think it needs a remake. I just think it needs a full remaster in order for people to fully enjoy it, and also for the game to to be fully discussed. But but it's still a decent game for what it's worth. It's still good, but not great, in my opinion. Also the boost animation looks very cool, very electrical like, and we're seem to be heading into Radical Highway here, which is the remix of this trailer that's playing out through this trailer, believe it or not. That was Chaos Control, if I believe that, but I'll get into more detail with that. Now the returning areas. Now this returning area caught people off guard very quickly. Kingdom Valley from Sonic 06. Now, along with Crisis City, Kingdom Valley was actually one of the biggest highlights throughout 06. Despite 06's failure, there was a lot of memorable set pieces in that game, such as Crisis City and again Kingdom Valley. I think Kingdom Valley may have won second place with the '06 votes, so maybe that's why. But then again, they also did say that they wanted to look at all the levels that Shadow was in and see which ones would be would be the most interesting. So they didn't do a vote pool with Sonic X Shadow Generations, which I don't think it's a huge deal. I mean, I think most of the levels they picked made sense enough. I don't know why I did that. One Ultimate Collection.
I'll overcome every obstacle with this power.
Now I could be wrong about this, but I think I heard about Shadow having chaos powers throughout the game, kind of like the classic characters kind of have that in Sonic Superstars, where they use the Chaos Emeralds for certain powers. That might be the case with like this portion of Generations. But hey, it could be something else. But I did see in one of the gameplay in some of the gameplay footage, which we will get into in a little bit, that Chaos Control did have a certain button in to like use. So I think Chaos Control, along with this new power up, is going to be certain power ups that we're going to be using throughout Shadow Generations. Either way, it looks cool. Available October 25th. Alright, so I think there was... Hold on. Wait, there was something else here. There was... What the hell? Oh, that part was PlayStation exclusive. Okay, never mind. I should have put the... I don't know why I showed the Steam page, but yeah. So there was this whole PlayStation exclusive thing where they kind of pull up journals like Gerald's diary of detailing Shadow's creation. So that's gonna be for PlayStation users exclusively, which I don't really know why, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. We got Adventure Sonic though, so that's pretty cool. You know what's even cooler though? Terios, Shadow's original design in Sonic Adventure 2. The guy that was meant to be Sonic's rival, but then it kinda didn't really go well. So they wanted to do something more interesting, and we got Shadow the Hedgehog, which is a big W move. And that's pretty much it. Although, getting back to the Terios stuff, this could explain as to why Amy mistakenly thought Shadow was Sonic, despite him not looking alike, along with the public not realizing it was Shadow. This plot device would obviously be more reflectable with Terios, but since they added Shadow right in there, that I guess this kinda explains everything now. Alright, so before we get into the actual gameplay during the Shadow Generations portion, and the only notable thing I can really think of throughout the regular Generations portion is the fact that Classic Sonic's quills are a bit longer than usual. And also the underground portion does look noticeably different with the new lighting, with the whole new, like, it does look a bit darker than usual, and the HD port and the increased HD upgrade is a lot more noticeable during this cave. But aside from that, the Generations portion is exactly the same. Okay, going on to the Shadow Generations portion. There's actually a couple of differences here. Within the, well, not differences, new gameplay. We're gonna take a look at the Shadow portion of Generations in terms of the footage. This the people have been from information I've received, people were actually given the first level. I believe the first level along with the first boss. This, which I believe was the Bile Lizard, but we'll get into that. But anyways, let's go. Now, just like the regular trailer, you can see that there's a different pathway there, and the multi-target Omi attack, and you could probably boost through those boxes and go to that, and then jump there. So they did definitely try to do some different level design stuff. Now, it is a straight line, but you could probably boost through these a lot faster. They're just not boosting to give you a closer look at the graphics and the overall animations. By the way, Shadow's running animation actually looks pretty good, not gonna lie. Although the homing attack on certain objects do look a bit weird, but I do like his homing attack on the enemies. Obviously, there's a multiple pathway they could see through there. There's either the generic path where you can where you go to the springs, or you go over here and the homing attack on the asteroids or rocks. I don't know. And the homing attack does look a bit weird because Shadow just switches to his jump ball animation and when using the homing attack, which again, it looks really weird. I actually would have preferred the teleportation homing attacks to be all around instead of just using it for the enemies, but it's whatever. It's the only animation issue I really have, as everything else looks great. Now, this is Space Colony Arc Act 1, so which means that Act 2 is probably gonna include this portion of this Space Colony Arc Act 1, and this one specifically is Act 1 of Space Colony Arc, as you heard me say, which means Act 2 is probably going to include. So Act 1 includes Final Rush and the insides of Space Colony Arc, along with Radical Highway, which is what we're gonna see. And then my predictions for Act 2 is maybe something like Final Chase, like that has the same environments as Final Rush, and we didn't really see the floating platforms that Final Chase had, so that's something. and also we're probably gonna get a different returning level that we may have not seen before, or maybe we'll get Kingdom Valley. I don't know, but whatever. Now boosting animation right here. That looks very good.
Chaos control.
Now I do think it was something that Chaos Control was something that Shadow pulled out from that like box right there, and then he used Chaos Control, and then he uses it cleverly to like get to that pathway right there. Then there's the quick time event here. It's awesome. Now there's a skydiving right here portion that we see in most games. Then there's the artificial chaos. And as you can see there, hold on, let me go back a little bit. So like after Shadow gets rid of the artificial chaos, there's actually another platform right there, like potentially leading to destroying another artificial chaos. So there is multiple pathways here. It's not as empty as say like Sonic Forces or overly janky. It doesn't look overly janky like Sonic Frontiers does. So I'm happy with that. The controls do look good. That's all I can say. And then you could probably use your boost to like boost up there to like get to that one, or maybe get to that platform. The thing is, there is some replayability here, and we're gonna see. And right after this playthrough, we're gonna check out. After we're done watching this, we're gonna check out the playthrough that another guy made with the multiple pathways. So yeah. And yeah, you basically use the boost to like kind of ramp up there. Nice. And there's obviously more there, but we'll get to see more of that throughout the next footage. Space Colony Arc is breaking up. We're following Black Doom into Radical Highway. Now, Black Doom's voice, I will say, I do like a little bit more than what we got in Shadow the Hedgehog. Even though I don't mind Black Doom's voice in Shadow the Hedgehog, I do think this is a big improvement. So again, multiple pathways over there. We're gonna see more of that. Now this part where you're sliding down the building, I thought looked really cool personally, because you know set pieces like this usually are executed really well, and this is no exception. Promised time will arrive once more. It's a bit of a weird line from Black Doom. I don't know why. I don't really think Black Doom's I don't know how they're gonna improve Black Doom's character in Sonic Shadow Generations. He basically his characterization, his personality, he sounds exactly the same. But the new voice is good.
You cannot deny your fate.
And I believe this is the end of the level because when you defeat all these enemies, which again looks cool, and then you can hear the gold ring sound. Also, can I just say that the effects that's going on throughout this place looks great. Again, the graphics themselves are around Frontiers quality, and the pop-in issue seems to be fixed around here, and the effects are great, man. This game looks phenomenal. It's the Bio-Lizard boss fight. That's a pretty cool transformation, just like in Adventure 2. Very good modeling. That's good. Now this fight looks pretty much the same thing like it did Sonic Adventure 2. I think this is the first phase. Although I will say the rings just teleport in there. I don't know if that's a pop-in issue or not. I don't know, but probably is a pop-in issue though. Or no, it's still respawned. Never mind. The multiple hits right there looks cool. It does look like Shadow might have of the combat from Sonic Frontiers or even 06, but improved a bit. But then again, this might be kind of this might be a quick time event here, kind of like in Unleashed. And then I guess the Bio-Lizard kind of like is more corrupted once you keep on like beating it up. So you attack like the arms that are corrupted, or the wings. It grows wings, and then again you attack it more and more. It keeps growing it back up. You get to use chaos control to help you avoid the obstacles. That is neat. They get more rings, and then you use chaos sphere to destroy the obstacles that it throws at you. Very cool. And then you use chaos control. The quick time event right here, where you mash it. And then it's damaged, and then you damage it with one last hit, and then you defeat the boss. And I thought that was pretty sick. So yeah, that was VG. So this was from VGC. Yeah. Now, so I'll link this video in the description by them, and now we're going to be we're basically gonna kind of recap everything that we've seen here. All right. So to kind of recap everything that we've seen there, I thought it looked great. I thought it looked great in my opinion. In my opinion, this might be a win. This might be a win, honestly. Now, and I say that because, for one, let's talk about the easier side. The Bio-Lizard boss fight, fantastic design. Like, the first phase being the same boss from Sonic Adventure 2. I'm perfectly okay with that. I didn't mind the boss fight from Adventure 2. It was pretty hard, but not terrible in the slightest, not bad fight in the slightest. And it does look like they polished it up a little bit and give it the more modern Sonic kind of like perspective. So yeah, so it's kind of cool because like Perfect Chaos, you fought him as Sonic, just like you did in the first game, even though without the Chaos Emeralds. And then with Shadow, you fight the Bio Lizard in its non-final hazard form, just like you did in Sonic Adventure 2. And I really like that because unlike Generation 3DS, it actually stays true to what a specific character is in. And the boss fight itself looked great. The first phase, again, same boss fight from Sonic Adventure 2. But then the second phase kind of involved. Actually, the first phase is partially the same boss fight from Sonic Adventure 2, but then it slowly goes. The Bio Lizard slowly feeds on more corruption, or like whatever it's called, like what the Time Eater is being given to him. I honestly, and like the thing is, because this is the first boss that we've seen, what are the other bosses going to look like? And I want to mention something, because I think the boss fight looked great, and the QuickTime events being used for the boss fight, right, it is executed so well. Now, I don't know if it's quite Frontiers levels of good quality boss fights, but it's still really good. The really cool part about this is because we fought the Bio Lizard in Sonic Adventure 2, like in the area, but in the same area where we fought last time. But what if we encounter Mephiles? Again, that might sound crazy, but think of it this way: we encountered Mephiles in Sonic 06. All right, Sonic 06 was where Mephiles debuted, and it's the only Sonic game where Mephiles is fully in. But that might change. Sonic X Shadow Generations might just bring Mephiles back. Like if you want proof, like I can even give it. Aw, oh, crap, I forgot to turn the volume up.
I'm Mephiles. Mephiles the Dark. What? Did you forget me? I owe much to you, Shadow.
That one moment, you could say whatever you want about 06, you could say how bad it is, and I could agree with that. You know, it's a very unfinished mess. A lot of the mechanics do not work. Not a good game, but come on, Shadow's portion of the story was pretty good. All right, that's one good aspect of the game right there. Along with Mephiles being one of the best Sonic villains that we've ever gotten, and since Ian Flynn is the current writer for the Sonic series, I'm just saying you can get him to write the story for the Shadow Generations portion, Sega. It's up to you. The next portion of this video is going to be talking about the future of modern Sonic, because I think given the actually no, I'm not going to discuss that. So there's actually a couple of stuff that we gotta get into when it comes to modern Sonic. First off, the potential future of it. What are we going to be getting after Sonic X Shadow Generations? Well, Well, there's one thing that that we'd like to see in the Sonic X Shadow Generations, and that has been confirmed: the open zone, which is originated from Sonic Frontiers, and they're gonna bring it back for Sonic X Shadow Generations. So both the remasters and the mainline and the new mainline Sonic titles are going to be including the open zone structuring from Sonic Frontiers, and maybe even improve upon it. I don't know. But speaking of Sonic remakes or slash remasters, I think there's one that has a lot of potential. Keep in mind, they do have to make sure Sonic X Shadow Generations is good before they do it, but still, it's still exciting nonetheless. During the interview with Takashi Iizuka, with Sonic X Shadow Generations, the questions that he's answered, this is one of the major questions. This is one of the major answers that we have gotten from the questions. One of the questions was this:
what other remasters could we possibly see? I'm not expecting you to actually answer this, but I'm hoping you might be able to answer it. Like maybe, I don't know, Sonic Unleashed? Yes? Would we love to see that?
他に今後リマストするタイトルなんか発表できますでしょうか。
そうですね。ソニックカラーズをリマスターしてソニックカラーズアルティメイトをリリースしたんですけども、その時に一番次に欲しいって声が強かったのがジェネレーションだったんですね。それで今回ソニックジェネレーションにフォーカスしたんですけども、また今後皆さんの声を受けて、この先も何かできれば検討していきたいと思ってます。
So when we remastered Colors, Sonic Colors, and it was Sonic Colors Ultimate, we wanted to kind of think about what we could bring next as a remastered title. And at that time, Sonic Generations was kind of what everyone was really excited, they really wanted, and was really hungry for. So that's why we chose to do the Sonic Generations, and we added in the Shadow Generations portion. But depending on what people like out there, if there's a title people like, we'll think about it for the next remaster.
Well, I mean, you heard them scream when I said Sonic Unleashed. So, look at that.
Unleashed.
I don't care what the reviews say. That's one of my favorite games.
Heroes.
That one too. So now you meant.
Is this not exciting to hear? Sonic Unleashed, at least, is my and a lot of other people's personal favorite Sonic game, and it's for good reason. It simplifies what we all love about Sonic and what we all want to see from Sonic. Sonic Team hasn't been able to give us something like that for a very long time. We haven't gotten anything resembling a hell ton of effort with a Sonic game until we got Sonic Frontiers. Yes, you could say that Sonic Frontiers was rushed, but that doesn't mean there wasn't effort placed into it. And because of Sonic Frontiers giving them a higher budget for their next game, Sonic X Shadow Generations is not only a showcase for what we could expect for the mainline Sonic games, but for also potential remasters. Sorry, I came back from dinner, but yeah. Where was I? Oh yeah, the remaster. Sonic Unleashed is not only my favorite Sonic game, but also one of my favorite games, period. And it can be quite challenging to say that, because I found a lot of other games from other franchises that are competitors for this, such as some of Mario's titles like Super Mario 64, Super Mario Galaxy, and heck, even Super Mario Bros. 3. But Sonic Unleashed, along with Sonic Mania, in my opinion, tops those games entirely. They're the games that give the most enjoyment to me, and Sonic Unleashed Unleashed getting a remaster, potentially, after Sonic and Shadow Generations, this is legit great news. Because this game could potentially be on all the modern hardware, like PC, PlayStation 4 and 5, the Nintendo Switch. That would be a bit. That would be very, very questionable on that. But still, seeing Unleashed on all of those like modern consoles, it would be a blast. Like playing Sonic Unleashed on PC alone would be amazing. And I can already get 60 FPS with my Xbox Series X, and I really like that and all. But I also kind of wish that the anti-aliasing was improved a bit better, so I don't have to see the pixels. And also, I just think the controls could be a little bit improved throughout the daytime stages, and the Sun and Moon medals could be improved. But aside from that, I still love this game, and the fact that it's getting a remaster soon is incredible. Okay, so with all of that in mind, now we're going to be looking at the optimized Sonic X Shadow Generations gameplay, featuring all of the multiple playable routes. So you thought I said characters, alright? I don't know that, alright? I don't know that much, but I do know more about the level design than I already knew, so so yeah. Once again, I'm gonna give credit to the footage. I'm gonna leave the link in the description of the video, so yeah, if you're the guy that made the video and you're watching this, cool to you, but yeah, let's get on watching. Oh god, that looked a bit off, didn't it? Alright, let's just go. Look at that. Yeah, all the buttons. Yeah, it looks all. And you can even do cool boosting tricks like that, which is insanely good. Yeah, you can get through those sections very fast. The boost is actually a lot faster than it was in Frontier Cyberspace. Look at that. Man. And you can even go on top. There's multiple rails there. Was that a ring? I just now noticed that. Was that a ring? You can also use chaos control in a very unique way. In like, it's very cool, and you get to. And I just realized that it's charged up. You don't have to use like a power up. You don't have to grab like a box or whatever to get it. And there's some quick time reaction there as well. So yeah. And again, you can use chaos control very unique, very. The chaos control usage is very good this time around, and the fact that it impacts the game this much looks so good. Here we go. Oh, wow. It's great. It's really good. You're going down. I guess they can knock you back during the. Yeah, look at that. My god. I'm a huge fan of this. Oh my god, look at that! Wow! Man, this is great stuff, man. The level design, and people were so overly skeptical about the level design in the first trailer. My God. And then this is where Black Doom comes in. That is good. Now again, it might be a bit of weird quality due to the footage being here, but it's no fault. Now there is a straight line here, so again, but then again, every Sonic game has its linear moments, even the classic games. It looks like it controls very, very well. It looks like it can control really, really well. And once again, the pathways being used around the section, it all looks great. And how it transitions like that looks. Ugh! I barely missed those. I can tell that they give you more points for those. Now, Radical Highway admittedly didn't last too long compared to the other portions, but... Oh, you can use Chaos Spear to stun them? Oh, that is amazing. Now, admittedly, the ranking system does look a bit easier because, you know, there's the S rank very easily gotten, but still, good job on that. Now, guys, that's it. Now, I was kind of messing around with my recording a little bit, so that's why the video does kind of look a bit different. And I also am taking advantage of the whole background music that I used throughout my Sonic tier list video. I hope you all like that because you're gonna see more of it. But yeah, that was Sonic X Shadow Generations. Now we get into the part, how can this affect modern Sonic? And more importantly, does it can it revive the boost gameplay after being used for so long? Well, I think there's a clear answer here. For how open the level design is compared to Forces and Frontiers cyberspace, it genuinely feels like Sonic Team has been improving the level design and have been listening to us. Can the boost gameplay exist within its own merits again? Can it live up to how good it was back in 2008 to 2011? Given what we got out of this very large section of Sonic X Shadow Generations gameplay, I think there's a pretty good chance here. They might screw it up, but I don't want to get. But I don't want to break my negative. I don't want to break my positive of Sonic limbo over here. So I think they can do it. I really think they can do it. As long as they put in their effort into it, I really think they can do it. We haven't gotten good boosting gameplay, or at the very least, a good boosting, consistently Sonic game. I think Sonic Frontiers, despite the boost mechanic being in that game, I still think that's one of my favorite Sonic games, but I don't really consider Frontiers to be a soul boosting experience. It's more of an open zone experience. There are boosting levels with the cyberspace, but again, they weren't executed very well. They have their fun moments, but like, I don't really consider Frontiers a solely boosting game. But yeah, as I said, we haven't gotten good boosting gameplay since Sonic Generations. We haven't gotten solely boosting good gameplay since Generations. But at the same time, this is a Generations remaster, but still, I want Sonic Team to do what I want Sonic Team to continue the level design they've given us throughout what we've gotten through the first level that we've seen so far. If they can keep doing that for all of the levels, Sonic Generations could be a better experience compared to what it already was. And keep in mind, Sonic Generations is still a top 10 Sonic game in my opinion. It's an easy top 10 Sonic game, but there's no denying that there could be a bit more content. And this remaster does exactly that. So, if we can have level design like this to carry on throughout the entirety of Shadow's story, I think we might have ourselves a big fat W right here. But that's all I can really say for today's video. I think Sonic X Shadow Generations could be the redemption of modern Sonic. And you could argue that Sonic Frontiers is kind of the redemption of modern Sonic, and in a way it is. I still think Sonic Frontiers is a top 5 favorite Sonic game, but in terms of boosting Sonic, Sonic X Shadow Generations can revive boosting Sonic. Will they do it? I'm not certain, but I have confidence. Sonic Team, do not let that confidence be wasted, man. Do not. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. You all have a great night, and yeah, take care.